Today, I want to speak with you about something truly powerful and life-changing. It's the belief that you, yes, you, have the ability to completely shift your life in only 90 days. Now, I understand this might seem a little too bold. We're often told that big changes take a long time, or that success is a slow journey. But I'm here to tell you that 90 days can be more than enough. It's not about achieving everything all at once, but about beginning the real process of changing your life for the better. The very first and most vital step is getting clear. Without having clarity, it's easy to feel lost or stuck when trying to change. Imagine going on a long trip with no map or end goal. You'd likely walk in circles, wasting energy without making progress. That's exactly what happens during personal growth when you don't know your destination. If there's no vision of where you're heading, then it's hard to figure out the path or make smart decisions. Clarity gives direction to your efforts, your thoughts, and your energy. Having clarity helps you stay focused and makes decision-making much easier. When you're clear on your goals, you begin to filter out things that don't help you. You ignore distractions more easily and stay on track, even when things get tough. To begin getting clear, ask yourself deep questions. What is it that you truly want to achieve? What would make you feel regret a year from now if you didn't go after it? These questions give you insight into what matters to you most and help you build a strong vision of your future. But don't just think about your answers. Write them down. Putting your goals on paper makes them feel more real and gives you a sense of responsibility. It's like turning ideas into a real plan. Another part of clarity is understanding your reasons. The why behind your goals is what will push you through the hard times. If your goals come from something meaningful inside you, they feel more like a mission than just chores. That kind of purpose is what keeps people moving forward, even when things aren't easy. When you know what your goal is and why it matters so much, it's time to break it down into smaller steps. Big goals can feel scary and far away. Thinking about changing your entire life in just 90 days might feel impossible. But when you take that big goal and split it into daily actions, it becomes much easier to start. For example, if your aim is to lose weight, don't keep staring at the number on the scale. Instead, focus on eating healthy meals, moving your body each day, or drinking more water. These small steps make progress feel possible and help you stay focused. Breaking goals into smaller pieces keeps you from feeling too overwhelmed. And another important part of getting clear is knowing what might stand in your way. Life doesn't always go as planned, so being ready for problems before they come will help you stick with your path. Think ahead about what might go wrong, like being too busy, losing motivation, or getting distracted. And then plan ways to handle those problems. That way, you're not surprised when things get tough. Being clear also means setting timelines that make sense. Many people set goals that are too broad or hope for quick results, and that sets them up for disappointment. Without clear timelines, we often expect too much too soon. For example, deciding to drop a lot of weight in just a few weeks without a good plan can leave you feeling frustrated. Instead, focus on steady, long-term progress that feels manageable. If you space things out over time, you'll feel more in control and avoid the frustration of expecting instant results. When you have clarity in your goals and your actions, you get a clear path. Your focus gets sharper, your energy is used in the right direction. The more clearly you understand your goal, the easier it becomes to choose wisely. If you're torn between two options, the one that lines up with your goal becomes obvious. Over time, this clarity becomes your personal filter. It helps you decide which people, activities, or habits are worth your time and which are not. You'll naturally move toward what helps you and away from what doesn't. One more thing to remember, clarity isn't something you gain once and keep forever. It grows and shifts as you do. As you make progress, your views and strategies might change, and that's okay. That's why it's so important to check in with yourself regularly. Make sure your goals still make sense, and update your steps as needed. This kind of ongoing clarity is what will help you stay aligned and motivated even when your path changes. When you commit to being clear about your goals and the steps needed to get there, you lay a strong base for lasting change. Clarity makes your choices more purposeful and your actions more powerful. Even if change takes a while, clarity helps you move forward with confidence. Large goals can feel heavy when we look at them all at once. It's easy to get discouraged and forget how far you've come if you only focus on how much is left to do. That's why it's so important to focus on steady, small actions. These small efforts might feel unimportant in the beginning, but over time they create serious progress. The journey to change is not about instant results or one big action. It's about small, regular progress. When you divide a huge goal into smaller tasks, you make it less scary and easier to start. Instead of standing at the bottom of a tall mountain and thinking about the top, you just take one step at a time. That first step makes a big difference. It builds confidence and keeps you going. For example, say you want to write a book. Looking at the full project might make you feel overwhelmed, but if you decide to write one page each day, that goal becomes manageable. One page may seem small, but after a few months, you'll have something big. The trick to making those small steps work is sticking with them. You don't have to be perfect or rush the process. You just have to keep showing up every day, doing something, anything each day. Builds habits, and habits are what create real, long-lasting changes. Think of it this way. If your goal is to get in shape, hitting the gym once a week won't do much. But moving your body for 20 minutes every day can change everything. Those small actions add up. Over time, they build strength, energy, and momentum. Doing something small every day often works better than trying to do everything in one big effort. When you focus on small steps, you also avoid getting burned out. Trying to do too much too quickly can drain your motivation, but breaking things into smaller tasks keeps things easier to handle. Taking action, even just a little, becomes something you look forward to instead of something that wears you out. Working on a project, learning a new skill, or improving your health one step at a time keeps things steady. Those daily efforts become a routine, and that routine becomes your lifestyle. Real change doesn't need to happen in one dramatic moment. It grows quietly through small steps, repeated day after day. Making small tasks part of your daily routine makes it easier to include them in your life. The pressure to be perfect begins to fade. Instead of pushing yourself to make huge changes all at once, you give yourself time and space to slowly get better. These small improvements can lead to big results. Another benefit of taking small steps is that it helps you stay encouraged. The feeling you get from finishing even a tiny task is powerful. Every small win makes you believe more in yourself and your ability to reach your goal, which increases your drive to continue. This is very important because staying motivated is what helps you keep going when things feel long or tough. For example, if you're trying to save money, putting away even a small amount daily or weekly may not look like much, but it gives you something real to feel good about. As time passes, these small savings grow, and you begin to see the impact of your steady efforts. Taking small steps also gives you room to adjust. When you break down a big goal into smaller parts, it becomes easier to change your plan if needed without feeling like you've failed. If something isn't working, it's much simpler to make a tiny shift than to start all over again. For example, if your goal is to write a book and you realize writing at night isn't going well, it's easier to try writing in the morning or on your lunch break. That way, even when life throws obstacles your way, you can keep making progress. Small steps allow you to stay on course while still being flexible. They help you stick to your bigger goal while making space for changes along the way. Focusing on small steps also keeps you in the moment. Often, when chasing a big goal, we get too focused on the end result and forget about the progress we're making now. We get so caught up in reaching the goal that we don't enjoy the learning and growth that happen on the journey. But when you take one small step at a time, you stay focused on the process itself. You can feel proud of every effort every day you show up and every task you complete. This keeps your interest alive and helps you stay connected to your work. It's not just about waiting for a big reward at the end, but appreciating the steady improvement you make each day. Another reason small steps are powerful is that they help you build momentum. Momentum is the energy that pushes you forward, often making progress feel easier. Once you start and form a habit of doing small things regularly, it becomes simpler to keep going. The important thing is to begin with something easy. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes a day learning something new or taking a 15-minute walk each morning. These small habits can grow into major changes. Momentum doesn't just make progress smoother, it helps you get past the hesitation and delay that usually stop people from taking the first step. This approach of taking steady, small steps doesn't just work for personal goals, it applies to every part of life. Whether you're trying to start a business, improve your relationships, or pick up a new skill, the idea stays the same. Big successes rarely happen from one big effort. They are made from lots of small efforts repeated over time. So instead of waiting for the right time to make a big move, just take a small step now. The best thing about small steps is that they lead to real, lasting change without needing sudden, huge decisions. Slowly, those little actions turn into the results you want. Being steady is one of the most important but often forgotten parts of reaching big goals. Many people feel excited when they start something new and put in a lot of energy at the beginning, but without keeping that energy going, that excitement can fade. It's easy to begin strong. What really matters is keeping that energy going long enough to see real success. When you want to make a change in your life, whether it's about your job, health, or mindset, being consistent is the real key that opens the door to lasting results. The power of being consistent is that it helps you build habits. Habits are actions we do without needing to think too much, and they form the base of lasting change. When you do something often, it becomes a normal part of your life and no longer feels hard to do. That's why reaching goals isn't about doing something huge once, but about doing small, repeated actions every day. For example, if your goal is to get fitter, going to the gym one time won't make much difference. But showing up regularly will slowly change your body and your health. It's not about any single workout. It's about the steady work you put in over time. Being consistent also creates momentum, which helps you finish your goals. Momentum is the drive you get from making progress even in small steps. Once you begin and stick with it, it becomes easier to keep moving. This is because showing up, even when it's not easy, starts to create a rhythm. The more you do something, the more it becomes part of your daily routine, and the simpler it gets to continue. Take writing a book as an example. Writing just 300 words a day may feel small, but over time those words add up. Eventually you'll have a full draft. What counts is not how much you write in one day, but that you keep writing each day. Another great reason to stay consistent is that it helps you see your progress. When you promise to take action every day, it's easier to notice how far you've come. At the start of any new journey, progress often feels slow or invisible. But by showing up daily, you start to see small wins. Every little move forward is still progress. Without steady effort, it's easy to doubt yourself when you don't see fast results. But your actions will add up over time, and the outcome will speak for itself. Whether learning a new language, gaining a new skill, or working on personal growth, being consistent helps you measure your progress and stay focused on your goals. One of the biggest benefits of being consistent is that it helps you stay on track, even when your motivation disappears. Motivation can be unpredictable. Some days you'll feel ready to go, while on others you might not want to do anything. But consistency doesn't depend on how motivated you feel. It's a choice you make to keep going no matter what. When you commit to a regular routine, you build a system that supports you even when you're not feeling your best. That structure becomes your safety net. If you rely only on motivation, you're letting your feelings decide your actions. But if you rely on your steady habits, you're more in control of reaching your goals. Being consistent also helps you become stronger inside. Life brings challenges, setbacks, and failures. When you're regularly working on a goal, it's likely you'll face some hard times, but having a routine and commitment helps you push through the tough parts. Instead of quitting, you keep going. Each time you face a problem and continue, you become stronger. Over time, this builds mental strength. Consistency gives you the power to focus on what matters most. It's a tool that helps you stay committed even when things don't go as planned. Another helpful thing about consistency is that it saves your mental energy. When you decide to do something every day, it no longer becomes a question, it just becomes part of your life. This means you don't have to spend time or energy deciding whether or not to do it. For example, if you make exercise a regular part of your day, you won't waste time each day thinking, should I go to the gym? It becomes automatic. This helps you save your energy for tasks that need more thinking and planning. Being consistent takes away the stress of making the same choices again and again. It makes your actions feel natural and less of a struggle. At a high level, without exhausting yourself by making constant choices, one of the biggest struggles many people face when trying to stay consistent is expecting results too fast. Change doesn't come instantly, and progress usually takes more time than we hope. This is the point where many give up. When results don't show right away, they think their effort is pointless. But real improvement takes patience, and the effects of steady effort often become clear only after weeks or even months of hard work. The main thing is to keep trusting the journey and to keep showing up, even when you don't see progress right away. It's that steady effort that builds the base for success, even if it's not clear in the beginning. In the end, consistency is the real key to creating lasting results. Many people try to reach their goals by looking for quick solutions or instant success. But real, lasting success comes from putting in effort over a long time. Whether you're starting a business, improving your health, or learning something new, it's not about pushing yourself hard for a short time. It's about sticking with it every day, even when it's boring or tough. Doing something with effort again and again builds strong, lasting change. Consistency means that what you do is not just a short-term try, but a real transformation. It's the daily choice to show up and do the work, no matter how you feel, that brings real success. Changing your life isn't only about taking action, it's also about the way you think while taking that action. Your beliefs, your mindset, and the way you look at your problems can either push you ahead or hold you back. Changing the way you think is one of the most important steps in finding your true strength. Just acting is not enough. You need to believe you can reach your goals and that change is always possible. When you choose to have a growth mindset, you start seeing chances where other people see problems. You also learn how to keep going even when life gets difficult. A growth mindset means believing that your abilities and knowledge can grow with effort, learning, and time. This is different from a fixed mindset where people think their qualities are set and can't be changed. When you believe in growth, you start to see hard times as a chance to learn, not as a sign that you're not good enough. This way of thinking is very important when trying to change your life. Without it, the problems and failures that always come with new goals can make you give up. A growth mindset helps you stay strong. It lets you see failure not as a sign that you can't do something, but as a part of getting better. One of the first things to do when you want to shift your mindset is to look at what you currently believe. Are you always telling yourself you can't do it, or that only certain people can succeed? Do you avoid taking action because you're afraid of failing? These kinds of thoughts can block your progress before you even try. The first step is to notice these thoughts and start to question them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Or, what proof do I have for or against this idea? Most of the time, you'll see that your fears aren't as real or big as they seemed. The mental walls we build are often much weaker than we believe. Another major part of shifting your mindsets is changing how you talk to yourself. The words you use when you speak to yourself shape how you feel and act. If you're always using words that come from fear or self-doubt, you start believing them. But if you use words that encourage and lift you up, you build a stronger and more hopeful mindset. For example, don't say, I can't do this, say, I can't do this yet. That small change adds belief and hope. It means that even if you can't do something now, you can learn to do it. When things are hard, instead of saying, "This is impossible," try saying, "This is tough, but I can grow from it." This kind of self-talk helps remind you that you can always move forward, no matter how hard it gets. Having a growth mindset also means getting used to being uncomfortable. Many people stay away from discomfort because it feels strange or too difficult, but really, discomfort shows that growth is happening. Whether you're trying something new, pushing your body further, or facing fears, that feeling of discomfort is a sign that you're changing. Instead of avoiding it, welcome it. See hard situations as chances to build inner strength and learn new things. Embracing discomfort helps you grow in skill and in character. It's during the hardest times that the most important growth happens. When you get through something difficult with the belief that you can handle it, you build strength, not just in your mind, but in your heart too. Believing in yourself is one of the most important steps in changing your life. If you don't think you can change, you won't take action. A growth mindset gives you that belief. It reminds you that no matter where you begin, you can always grow. That doesn't mean it will be easy or that progress will come fast. You'll have setbacks and you'll make mistakes. But those aren't the end. They're just part of the path. A growth mindset helps you look at failure as feedback. You don't say, "I failed." You say, "What can I learn from this?" That simple change helps you move forward without losing hope. Every experience, whether good or bad, becomes a chance to learn. Also, a growth mindset teaches you to see effort as a good thing. People with a fixed mindset often think that needing effort means they're not talented. But with a growth mindset, you understand that effort is how you get better. The more effort you give, the more progress you make. This belief helps you keep going even when you don't see results right away. You trust that your hard work will pay off. Another benefit of having a growth mindset is how you see other people. When you believe in growth, you don't see other people's success as a threat. You don't feel like their success takes anything away from you. Instead, you feel inspired. You see their stories as proof that anyone can grow and succeed. You learn from them instead of feeling jealous. This kind of thinking builds teamwork, learning, and the idea that we can all rise together. When you really grow your mindset, you start to see your journey as something exciting. You don't just focus on the goal, you start to enjoy the steps along the way. You celebrate little wins and become more focused on making progress rather than being perfect. You understand that growing is something that continues your whole life. This kind of thinking helps you be kinder to yourself, more patient when things don't go smoothly, and more driven to keep trying even when it's hard. The more you practice this mindset, the more powerful you become because you truly believe change is always possible. One of the strongest tools you can use to change your life is taking full responsibility for it. Personal responsibility means understanding that you are in control of your choices, your actions, and how you react to what happens around you. Once you really believe that, you stop blaming the world or waiting for things to get better on their own. You realize that it's up to you to take the steps that lead to the life you want. This shift in how you think can completely change everything because it pushes you to take action instead of sitting back and hoping things will improve. Taking responsibility starts with accepting that you are the one guiding your own path. It means no longer seeing yourself as a victim of your situation. It's about knowing that while you can control everything that happens, you can always choose how to respond. That choice is powerful. It gives you back control and reminds you that you have the ability to shape your life one decision at a time. Be the main character in your story, not just someone passing through it. While outside forces and influences will always exist, how you choose to respond is completely in your hands. Once you take ownership, you no longer view yourself as someone stuck by circumstances. You see yourself as someone who can face and rise above challenges using effort and persistence. This shift from letting life happen to actively shaping your path is the first step in real and lasting change. A big part of personal responsibility is being truthful with yourself. It means taking a serious, honest look at your actions, habits, and decisions. Many times we rush to blame our situations, other people, or even our past for where we've ended up. But real responsibility begins with awareness of self. Ask yourself the hard questions. Are you fully owning your decisions? Are you just making excuses or trying to explain away your actions? Are you pointing fingers at others for your lack of progress? Noticing these patterns within yourself is the beginning of changing them. When you take responsibility for your role in your current place, you make space to grow and shift things in your life. After recognizing your part, the next move is to act on purpose. This means choosing to be active rather than always reacting. Reacting often comes from fear or being stuck, waiting for things to fix themselves or for someone else to act. Being proactive means deciding and moving forward in ways that match your goals, even when you're not feeling up to it. Taking ownership means no longer waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making that moment happen yourself. This mindset helps you steer your own direction instead of feeling like you're being pushed around by everything around you. Along with responsibility comes the need for discipline. Once you've accepted that your life is your own to lead, you commit to making decisions that reflect your values and future plans. That means showing up for the work, even on the days when it's tough. Even when distractions try to pull you off track. It's easy to take the easy road, but real development happens when you choose to do what's needed, even when it's not easy. Whether that's getting up early to work out, sitting down to handle a project you've been avoiding, or having a tough but needed talk with someone, taking responsibility means doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. Another important piece of personal responsibility is knowing how powerful your choices are. Each choice you make, big or small, shows what really matters to you. When you start taking full ownership, you become more aware of how every decision is building the future you're creating. From the meals you choose to eat, to the people you spend time with and the amount of effort you give your goals, each decision leads you closer or farther from the life you want. Being responsible also means realizing that your choices, whether made with full thought or not, are shaping the world around you. As well as making smart choices, personal responsibility includes being answerable for your actions. Being accountable means admitting when you've made a mistake and doing what's needed to fix it. No one is perfect. You will slip up or fall short sometimes. But when you take ownership, you learn from those moments, and you don't run from them or try to blame others. Accountability helps you grow and adjust. It keeps you from getting stuck in a mindset of blaming and instead pushes you to see each failure as a chance to grow and improve. Taking personal responsibility also involves accepting that there is always room to grow. It's easy to feel upset when things don't go the way you want or when things move slowly. But owning your journey means understanding that you can always shift, learn, and do better. It's about turning problems into chances to stretch your limits instead of letting them block you. When you take full responsibility for getting better, you open the door to steady improvement. You realize that there's no final stop, just a process of becoming stronger, smarter, and more prepared every day. One of the most powerful things about taking ownership of your life is that it puts you back in charge. Once you stop blaming the world or your past for where you are, you gain the freedom to steer your own life. You're not stuck because of your environment or your past. You have the power to make different decisions and go after different outcomes. This mindset is incredibly freeing. It takes away the feeling of being stuck and gives you the energy to take control. You're not just reacting to life anymore, you're guiding it. You're at the wheel, and you can choose where to go next. Being responsible for your actions also builds better relationships. When you stop pointing fingers and instead own up to your behavior, people notice. It builds respect. Others are more likely to trust and respect someone who says, "I made a mistake," and then works to fix it. On the flip side, blaming others or avoiding fault breaks trust and creates conflict. Responsibility supports honesty and fairness, two key pieces in making relationships strong and healthy. It shows maturity and builds a deeper connection with those around you. Finally, when you take control of your life, you stay more focused on your goals. Life brings distractions every day. It's easy to feel lost or upset when things go wrong, but if you know you're in charge of your progress, you stay locked in on what matters. Ownership helps you keep going even when the path gets bumpy. Personal responsibility is about growing a mindset that sticks with the long game. It's about understanding that true change doesn't show up overnight. It comes from steady work and staying true to your word. When you fully accept responsibility, you start creating the results you've dreamed of. You trust that you have what it takes to make those results real. A powerful part of changing your life is learning how to stay committed to your goals. Commitment isn't just hoping things will improve. It's about sticking with the effort, even when things get tough. It's easy to feel excited at the start of something new, but true commitment is shown when you keep going after the excitement fades, when you hit walls or feel like quitting. Being committed means choosing your goal again and again, no matter the setback. Staying committed begins with setting clear goals. If you don't know where you're headed, it's hard to stay on track. Clear and specific goals act like a map. They give you direction and help you measure progress. You can also shift your path when needed. Without strong goals, you can get lost or distracted by all the things happening around you. But when your goals mean something to you, they give you purpose. You can remind yourself why you're doing the hard work, especially on the rough days. That's the key to staying locked in. Commitment also means truly believing in your ability to succeed. This isn't about thinking you deserve success just because. It's about knowing that with steady work, anything is possible. The more you stick with your goals, the stronger that belief grows. It becomes a cycle. The more you show up, the more proof you gather that you can keep going. Commitment means trusting that the process works, even when results are slow. You keep showing up because you know that each step, no matter how small, gets you closer to where you want to be. A big part of staying committed is being okay with discomfort. Growth doesn't come without struggle. It might be physical pain, mental pressure, or emotional stress. Commitment means pushing through it anyway, whether it's getting up early to train, pushing your brain to learn something new, or facing fears that feel overwhelming. You stay in it. You face the discomfort instead of avoiding it. And it's through these moments that real growth happens. Discomfort helps you build resilience and become stronger. When you stay dedicated, you're not letting discomfort push you away. Instead, you welcome it as part of your growth journey. Staying dedicated also means developing and keeping discipline. Discipline is the skill to follow your plan, even when motivation fades or life becomes hard. It's about acting the same way every day, no matter how you feel. Motivation can rise and fall, and there will be moments when you just don't feel like going on. But discipline helps you move ahead anyway. It means making choices that serve your bigger goals instead of chasing quick pleasures or emotional urges. With discipline, you build habits that support your goals and make it easier to stay focused. As time passes, discipline feels more natural, and progress comes with less effort. Another important part of staying committed is being able to stay focused. It's easy to lose direction because of new ideas, chances, or problems that may look more fun or easier. But real commitment means sticking to your chosen path and not getting distracted by everything that pops up. Focus helps you shut out distractions and stay fixed on your goal. This doesn't mean you should ignore chances to grow or adjust. It just means you look at them based on how they fit your bigger goals. When you stay dedicated, you learn to say no to things that don't match your vision. That way, you can use your time and energy for what really counts and makes a difference. Another core piece of commitment is dealing with setbacks and failures. It's necessary to understand that struggles are a natural part of any journey. Every path has its obstacles, and sometimes things won't go the way you expected. How you react to these hard times matters a lot. If you give up when things go wrong, you'll never reach anything truly important. But if you treat setbacks as only temporary and see them as chances to learn and grow, you'll keep moving ahead. Staying committed means knowing that failure is not the final stop. It's actually a step forward. It teaches you important lessons that bring you closer to your goals and shows you what needs to change or improve. One of the strongest benefits of being committed is that it builds perseverance. Perseverance is the ability to continue moving ahead even when things are really tough. This quality is what sets apart those who succeed from those who give up. When you stay committed, you gain the strength to keep going forward no matter how challenging the road becomes. The heart of perseverance is resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover after failure, loss, or hard time. People with resilience don't see problems as reasons to quit. Instead, they understand that these problems are just part of the journey. They realize every challenge they face and overcome helps them grow stronger and brings them one step closer to their dreams. Being committed also means holding yourself accountable. While having someone else check on your progress can help, the deepest form of commitment comes from inside you. You must make yourself responsible for showing up and doing the work every single day. This self-accountability means you avoid making excuses or looking for easy ways out. It means you keep your promises to yourself, even when it's hard. When you take control of your actions and the progress you make, you strengthen your commitment. This inner responsibility increases your chances of success and helps you stay on track even when no one is watching or pushing you. Another important part of commitment is having patience. Big changes don't happen in a day. Real progress needs steady and continued effort over a long time. Staying committed means not giving in to the desire for fast results. It means knowing that the most meaningful changes take time. Patience helps you focus on your long-term goals and believe that the steps you take now will matter later. When you are committed, you learn to trust the process no matter how long it takes. And you understand that the hard work you do today will eventually bring you the rewards you're working for. This trust gives you peace and helps you keep going even when progress feels slow or invisible. In the end, staying committed is about being steady, strong, and believing in yourself even when it's hard. It's about being there every day and not quitting when things get tough. It means choosing to move forward again and again, no matter what happens. Commitment isn't just a single decision you make once. It's a decision you renew every day to keep trying, to keep working, and to keep believing. When you stay committed, you don't just reach your goals. You also become a better version of yourself in ways that will benefit you for the rest of your life.